I wanted to talk about this situation that my brother and I dealt with last week, and it's farther in the past now. I wanted to make a video about this a few days ago. I actually did make one, but it didn't come out too well as far as the quality. But we've been doing a lot of cold calling for our business, and I think last Tuesday, almost a week ago, my brother called this guy. Just to give you some context, my brother called this guy at about 7:30 a.m. Eastern time, give or take. My brother had said he spoke to the receptionist maybe 2 weeks ago, and she said to call back on a Monday or Tuesday between 7 or 8 a.m. to get the owner. So my brother notes that in our CRM, and he does exactly that. He calls on like a Tuesday at 7:30, perfect timing, and somebody else answers, presumably the owner. So it worked out perfectly, right? That's exactly what she said to do. My brother did it and he got the owner. So he goes and does his pitch, and this guy just lost his shit. He's like, "Do you know what time it is? Why are you calling me at 7:30 in the morning? This, that, and the other." And the initial phone call, I was actually in my room and he was in his room, and I hear it from all the way over here. And I'm like, "What the hell's going on over there?" My brother explains to me, he was trying to pitch my website. Like, yeah, I was told to call back at between 7 or 8 a.m. on a Monday or Tuesday, and this guy was just berating me and this and that. And the guy was just being mean, rude, just obnoxious. And like, they say in sales and when you do cold calling, the worst they can say is no. No, the worst they can do is what this guy did. It was brutal, like pure just anger and rage. And I felt like there was something almost underlying that was deeper than the cold call, right? And so he proceeds to berate my brother. I go in the room towards the end of the phone call. My brother hangs up. He's like, whatever, have a good day. That's that. And the guy proceeds to call us back and continue to berate us. I was like, this guy, like, did he not get enough the first time? We were apparently wasting his time, but he took more time out of his day to call us back and continue bombarding us with insults and just being rude and just vicious. Like, I've never heard anything like it. So, like I said, he called us back, and me trying to mitigate and diffuse this situation, and also being a big brother because I didn't like the way Lucas was being spoken to. I pick up the phone, and in hindsight, I definitely shouldn't have. And the guy's like, "What's your business? What's your guy's name?" And I was hesitant to tell him because I didn't know what he was going to do with that information. So I paused for a minute, and I'm thinking, "Oh, do I tell him? Do I not tell him?" And he's like, "You guys aren't even a real business. You don't have a name. You don't have a website. You don't have any of these things," which we do, but that's besides the point. But anyways, I'm trying to have a conversation. I'm trying to reason with this guy. I'm like, "Look, there must have been a misunderstanding. We apologize. Talk to your receptionist because she obviously had the wrong information. She should not have told us to call you back at this time and stuff." But he's like, "No, I don't got to talk to anybody. You guys are like just the whole 9 yards. The whole 9 yards." I partially blocked that out of my memory because it genuinely upset me. It genuinely upset me. And it wasn't even about what he said to us. It's the fact that people like that walk around in their day to day with this anger and this rage and this frustration in life towards something or someone. I have no idea what's going on in this guy's life. And it saddened me because there's people, like I said, in his day to day that he interacts with that he might treat the same way. And, if you're not thick skinned, that stuff eats at you. It eats at you, and you become that kind of person as well who just resents the world and hates everybody and wants to just spread this negativity. And it was just, I have a very big heart, and my initial reaction was to sympathize with this guy. It could have been very easy for us to stoop down to his level and just get into a screaming match and curse each other out, but there's no value in that. You're not making the world a better place by doing that. My initial thought is like, what is going on in this guy's life that he felt the need to react that way to a phone call, right? It's as simple as, "I'm not interested, hang up." It takes 5 seconds. It's not the end of the world. You move on with your day. We move on with ours. We pick up the phone again, call the next person. But that honestly threw us for a loop that entire day. It just, and like I said, for not just because it was directed at us, like I'm thinking to myself, this poor guy and the poor people that he deals with on a day to day basis in his business, potentially his employees, whatever, have to deal with that. And it rubs off on you. And that's how you develop disdain for the world. And it's just not a healthy formula because you just spread that negativity. More and more people become that way, and who knows, it kind of snowballs, right? And I'm also thinking to myself, there's young kids, 16, 17, 18, 19, trying to start a business, doing cold calling. If they got somebody like that on the phone, that'd be their career right there. They never do it again. Fortunately, my brother and I, like I said, we have pretty thick skin, and we understand, there's going to be people like that, but it threw us for a loop even. You know what I mean? And it took us a minute to regroup and say, holy what just happened? All these things run through my mind, and my mom made a really good point. You don't know what's going on in this guy's life. He could be dealing with maybe a family member who's ill, or his business is not doing well, or somebody passed away. You never know. So I'm trying to sympathize and say, I don't know what it's like to be in that guy's shoes. I don't know why he behaved that way. And to my mom's point, she mentioned, we were in the wrong place at the wrong time, and that guy just needed a punching bag, and we just happened to be there. So I don't know if it made him feel better, whatever. I don't see how that could. But the moral of the story, guys, is just to sympathize with people when they might be rude to you. Don't stoop down to their level. You're not achieving anything by doing that. You're just spreading more negativity. Send people love, show people love, pray for them, no matter what they may be going through, and try to move on with whenever things like that happen. It's very difficult. Don't get me wrong. Emotions are involved. I was very upset. It was incredibly frustrating and disheartening to know that there are people like that in the world who spread negativity. But like I said, if I come down to that level, I'm no better, and I'm not achieving my mission in doing what I'm doing, making these videos, trying to spread positivity and good messages. So you got to sort of have an emotional filter. My brother and I are fortunate to have a good support system and be able to talk about these things and process them and be in the mindset where, okay, we can't behave that way. We're not those kind of people. We're here to spread positivity and light and love. And it's just to remember that and go about your life embodying that. That's the most important thing, because actions speak louder than words. You can't control other people, but you can control your reaction to them and the things they do or say. So ultimately, bottom line, guys, just spread love, spread positivity. I know that's cliche, but it's cliche for a reason, because it's true. If somebody does you wrong in some fashion, your immediate reaction should not to reciprocate. Okay, be the bigger person, be a good person, and treat others the way you would want to be treated ultimately. So it's hard. It's a difficult practice. I literally say this in every single video. All the things I talk about are difficult to do, but the best kinds of people are the ones who are able to do these things despite the challenges that might come with it. So just keep that in mind, maintain perspective, and remember, people are going through things in life that you have no idea about. So just be positive, spread love, and the world will ultimately be a better place.